2 seconds. Hello, welcome back. We're here, Monday nights, the ILFL Soccer Night Show. And I didn't forget, usually we do it in the first segment, but here we are in the second segment. I'm going to show you highlights of a first division game. Yeah, that's right. We wanted to have a look at the first division because it's a tough division this season. Game between PYO and Seoul Youth. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the two teams. PYO, young team, progressive youth organisation. Tried to progress last season, started off badly, got themselves some new management, finished off the season strongly. Could they maintain that for this season against a very strong Seoul Youth team who were just a couple of points away from making it into Premier Division? Good team, Seoul Youth. Good young team, PYO. This is what happened yesterday between the two of them. PYO versus Seoul Youth. Run the video. Wow, do you know what? A lot of action, a lot of movement, a lot of running around. You would not believe that 9 goals were scored in that game. Yes, that's right. Sorry we didn't get any of them for you, but 9 goals were scored in that game. PYO got the better of it over Seoul Youth. 5 goals to 4. Let me show you the rest of the results in the first division, because this is a bit of a tough division. I just want to show you what's going on here. Here they are. At the top, if we're saying PYO beat Seoul Youth by 5 goals, well, look at that. Arsenal. Well done, you. It was always coming. They beat AMY by 5 goals to 2. A great start for them. They must be chuffed to bits. Let's hope that they can maintain some momentum in that division. Redcoat beat Bow by 3 goals to 1. It looks like another one of those seasons for Bow where they're just not there to be able to compete with everyone else around them. Lotus SC, a new team coming into the ILFL league. Welcome to you guys. Sorry about the way you were welcomed by Burdett. They beat you by 6 goals to 0. Another new team went up against Stepney B. Esprit went down by 1 goal to 0. And Shaquille, you can tell us a little bit about them because you were there at that game. To have a look at them. Tell us about Esprit.
They were very unlucky yesterday to lose the goal. To lose the game actually. 1-0. It was very schoolboy error type goal to concede. The defenders were waiting for the keeper to catch the ball. I'm not sure why the defender just didn't clear it out and they conceded a penalty. But they look okay. They missed so many chances. It was unbelievable. But I want to see how they are in terms of how they play. They got a lot of height, which is a good thing. They've got a lot of tall players, so they can. I assume they can change the style of football. They can play long balls. They can play a bit of football, which I see, which is quite nice to see. But they were unlucky. They were very unlucky.
Stepney B, we heard about Stepney's A side, if you like, in the Prem, playing a lot of vet boys. So what about the guys who are in the B side then? Because the vets aren't there. So who is in the Stepney B side?
You know, the B team. It was really nice to see because last season there were a lot of young guys. And the young guys, it's always nice to see the young guys turn into men, and that's what they did. You know, the guys who from last year played, they turned. You can see the difference from last year. They've grown with that experience they had around them last year with the vets. The majority of them were young, so the whole team, I think they were young. They're all young.
They were a mid-table side, Stepney B, last season. Is it the same again for them this season?
Yes, I reckon so. You know, you need a bit of that experience in the team. There are a lot of youth, which is good to see. I'm not saying a negative thing, but because it's a long season, it will be a tough season. It will be a tough season, no doubt about that. But a bit more strength they need, experience-wise. I think they'll be okay. I reckon mid-table.
Our Esprit, like how our Italian friends were in the Summer League, where it's only a matter of time before they beat somebody.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what? In the second half, they should have at least scored 3 goals in 3 minutes. They just missed sitters after sitters, and they were unlucky to lose yesterday. I think a draw would have been a fair result, I would have said. Yes.
Let's turn to you, Nani. Arsenal, they're got to be happy with that. We've sat here time after time talking about how they've got the football, they just need to be able to score the goals, and here they are.
I know, and guess against who? AMY.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, AMY isn't just any old team, you know, they're a very good side, you know, they're very professional in their approach, excellent management structure, you know, and it was here some couple of months ago and they're talking about how...
They were, and I wonder, you know what, I was just thinking, I wonder if being on this show was a jinx, because they had a real decent season, they started well in the Summer League, then they came on the show, and I think they've only won 1 game since.
No, it's not jinx. I think it's just the way things just panned out, to be honest with you, because, you know, teams just don't stick around. You know, most teams, they want to improve. You know, I mean, if you come every Sunday and you're losing a game, you know it's something wrong after a few games. You know, you want to make some changes and get some players. You know, and a team that's doing okay, they think, well, you know, it might not have to make any changes, and then they lose a few games, and then by the time you realise, summer's over and gone. You know, and you're not performed as well as you hoped to have performed.
So who are we looking at in the first division as the ones that will maintain the momentum and maybe be there top 2?
You know, it's really tough to say. You know, one of the teams that comes to mind is Burdett. You know, I mean, they've passed, what, 6 goals for Lotus, and there's one of the teams that are always in the first division. They never move, they never get promoted, and they never get demoted. You know, I think it's about time they actually did something, honestly, because I've been with ILFL, you know, for a number of years now, you know, and they've always been in that division. Why don't they move from there?
What about for you, Shaq?
What, to win?
Well, top two.
Well,
Let's say it now early. We can
you know what? Seoul
next
FC was really unlucky last season, so I think they would.
Seoul?
Yeah, definitely.
I have to say, that game between PYO and Seoul Youth is pivotal. I remember sitting here in a similar position last season and talking about PYO and saying, the young boys, I think they had a lot of potential, I think they'll do well, and they started really badly, and people started to look at me and say, PYO, and then the potential showed. And I think those two teams will have a lot to say in this division, PYO and Seoul Youth. Without belittling anybody else in the division, I'm sure you've all got something to say in that division, the first division. It started well. Shall we have a look at some fixtures for next week in the first division? Here they are. This Sunday, here are the matchups. Bow will now take on PYO. Let's see if Bow can get themselves their first points on the board. Esprit take on Arsenal. Arsenal will be buoyed by that victory. Esprit will be looking for those points that Shaq says that they've got. Red Count will be up against Burdett. That will be a decent game. And Seoul Youth will then take on Stepney B in a game that was a recreation from last season's fixtures. Now, I need to just run something by you very quickly as we come to the end of the second segment. Game taking place this week is St Catherine's versus Stepney. It will be St Catherine's first game of the season. It was due to happen yesterday, but what happened is they postponed their game and for a very good reason. What they ended up doing is they ended up holding a fundraising event for a club member, a member of the club who sadly lost his life not just 10 days ago. It never happens a lot within teams. We've mentioned on this show in the last couple of years when people have lost their life. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes it happens to someone close to us. I just want to show you this. This is one of the T-shirts that was on sale at that charity event. They held a 5-a-side event, 6-a-side, 7-a-side. It was a small-sided football tournament they held over at Myland Stadium for this guy here. And I have to say, I went down there and I was impressed at the amount of people, hundreds, and they can be counted in their hundreds, turned out to support the family, friends, relatives, people who probably didn't even know this guy turned up to take part in the event, buy T-shirts, buy balloons, get involved. And I know that his family were completely overwhelmed by this. So well done to St Catherine's who turned up, the St Catherine's Trust who expressed their condolences, to the parents, to the families, and everybody involved from yesterday. Rest in peace to you. Here you are. Barty, that's how we end our second segment of the show, and we'll see you after this short break.